Here's how I stopped getting hung up on in the first 20 seconds of every single cold call. So if you're someone that dials every single day and you're cold calling business owners or customers and you find yourself getting hung up on in the intro of your cold calling script, you can't even seem to get past the intro. They just hang up on you right away once they hear your voice almost. This is for you. I've cold called for 4+ years. It's what I do now. It's Sunday right now, and in just this past week, I made almost 9,000 in profit on the phones. Getting through your intro is so important because if you get through twice the amount of intros, you get through twice the amount of offers made, hopefully twice the amount of sales, which means twice the amount of McDonald's cheeseburgers for your fat ass. Usually the main reason why people get hung up on in the first 10 to 20 seconds in a cold call isn't because of their intro or the verbiage that they're using. It's usually because the person on the other line of the phone can tell that you're just some telemarketer, some salesperson, or you're just there to get something out of them. No one likes to be sold. So if the person on the other end can tell that you're just there to close a deal or to make commission or to get anything out of them at all, if they can tell you're a telemarketer, you're gonna get hung up on. This usually happens because you sound too robotic. So either it sounds like you're reading a script, or worst of all, you sound overly enthusiastic. Overly enthusiastic is the main reason why I feel like most of the people that do cold calling can't get through any intros. So here's how you fix it. The main thing is obviously you have to sound more conversational. So how do you do that? On a mindset level, I like to think like the other person on the phone with me is just a friend, a colleague, a sibling, or a coworker. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is to trick yourself to sound more conversational. So I'll just type out like 2 examples of some intros. I'll just make like some random. Okay. So this one's if you're cold calling from a Facebook ad and you're selling a senior life insurance. Here's the wrong way. Hey, Tim. Hi, Tim. It's Aria with the Senior Life Poop. It shows here you inquired about getting some final expense coverage to protect your family from paying for your funeral. Is that... That's my first time reading those words, but you see how it just sounds like I'm faking it or like I'm reading? That alone is going to make the person on the other line want to hang up on you. When you get a call from a random number and you can tell it's someone just trying to sell you something, you hang up too. You can't blame them. You just have to do what you can to not sound like those people. Versus, hey, Tim? Yeah, it's Ari. I'm with the Senior Life Poop. Shows here you inquired about getting some final expense coverage to protect your family from paying for your funeral. Is that... Now, if you notice, my tone of voice isn't monotone, but it's also not overly enthusiastic, as if I'm just some telemarketer. My tone doesn't sound like I just called 150 different people and said the same line over and over again. You also probably can't tell that I'm reading a script, even though I am. So now I'll just do one for like a marketing agency. Let's just say you're calling contractors from Google Online, looking to sell them marketing services like Facebook ads. Here's the shit way. Hey, Gayland Construction? Hi, I'm Arya. I'm the owner of Shit Marketing. I see here on Google you guys are general contractors. Is that line and that tone of voice is getting hung up on 9 times out of 10. The person on the phone, the business owner, knows you're full of shit and you're just there to sell them something, which you are. We just don't want them to smell that in the first 20 seconds. So in SMMA or any business to business or B2B frame sales for cold calling, I would try to act like a client in the first few seconds if you can. So when I was cold calling for my marketing agency, I would only make like 50 calls a day and book like 4 appointments for my next day. And my script would sound something like this. Hey, is this Gayland Construction? Oh, okay. Hey, I saw your number under a Google post for some construction stuff. You guys are general contractors, right? Okay, sweet. Yeah. Where are you located? Okay. Nice. And then are you guys looking to take on some more projects this March, or are you all booked up? So do you notice how in the first 10 seconds of that call, I acted like a client and the person on the other phone with me just sounds like I'm a hot lead? Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm actually also in the construction industry. I help developers and general contractors take control of their workload by getting very steady, high quality jobs so they can choose when to take on more projects instead of just relying on referrals. I'm assuming that was the same for you, correct? So another main point that you notice that I like to do in the intro of every cold call is I will literally like cough or or like do something. I'll sniffle, I'll pause, I'll clear my throat. And that's because I want the person on the other line to know that they are talking to a genuine human. And in that moment, I sound far from a robot. I sound far from a corporate telemarketer reading a sales script cold calling intro. So the main point is pretend like you're talking to a brother and stop sounding like a voicemail or a robot. I've done a lot of different types of business in the past, a lot of different types of cold calling, whether it was selling business loans, government funded programs, and even cold calling for my own marketing business. And I quit everything to focus on life insurance sales. None of my agents spend any money on leads. If you want to learn more about what I do, just DM me on Instagram.